As you could probably tell by the title, this is me wanting to tell you guys about a friend of mine. He was a friend in high school. I still consider him one today, though haven't really heard much from him, and I'll admit I might not talk to him as much as I probably should. A guy by the name of Evan. He's also known to YouTube, or at least he was before this Kappa crap came along, as Emperor Steve. Kappa, Copa, pronounce it however you're going to pronounce it. I don't personally care. Excuse me. Before this, he also had another channel that he did with a pair of his other friends called Team Dankism. Yeah, I don't fully understand it. I don't fully understand what that means, but I guess it's just because I'm kind of behind the times, and unlike most people, I watch shows that are over 30 years old, and I'd go more by what they say rather than this new hip slang and all that crap. Moving on. So, what can I say about Evan? In the real world, he's a nice guy. He's a little eccentric at times, Evan, if you're watching this, man, I don't mean to insult you in any way. And if I do, I am genuinely sorry. But here's a bit of what he did. He was always kind of jumping to numerous conclusions. And every time I saw him, he tended to flip back and forth between incredibly positive and incredibly negative. Much of this had to do with what he'd been going through in his real life, and that I can understand. The real world is kind of a bitch. But when it wasn't, when he often, and particularly when, even though we both dislike politics, and I apologize for bringing up politics on YouTube, as that's a death trap, and I'm not going to do that again. He would often, back when Chairman Asshole Pie of the FCC decided to take away net neutrality, which, can anyone tell me what the status of that is now? Because I don't know. He's the one, and he started talking about the most pointless thing, political parties. And that is something I'm not going to delve into. I'm not discussing politics on YouTube. Hell, Evan once had the idea of making a video that we could do together to discuss how much politics suck, but he decided against it, and truth be told, I'm glad he did. I mean, I'm glad to provide any historical knowledge he may need, but talking about politics on YouTube is not a good idea. Trust me, hell, if George Clooney can get beaten up for talking about politics at an award show, I have no desire to see what would happen to Evan for talking about politics on YouTube. Yeah, George Clooney talked about politics at an award show. I don't remember which one. But I know people who know George Clooney, and they probably kicked his ass for it. Moving on. What about as a YouTuber, as a reviewer, how does Evan fare? He did pretty nicely. And maybe this is just because I know him better than I know his other two friends, but him and his friend Noah were the ones that got me laughing the most when they did their reviews. They're funny. The third guy, Sean, I didn't find as funny as I did, and maybe there's just personal bias because I don't really know Sean. I've only ever seen him in the real world twice, and both times he didn't really talk to me that much. But if they were working on a review together or they had schoolwork to do, that was fine. I understand that. And when we discussed some things, Evan told me that Sean's reaction to me was rather hostile because he felt like I was trying to take control. Well, and if Sean is watching this, which I highly doubt, Here's the problem. I wasn't. I was just providing helpful suggestions, and if it seemed like I was taking control, I'm sorry. That's just you guys are kind of better at the whole YouTube thing than I am. In fact, you actually have cameras and computers, and I just have this little cell phone that I'm presently broadcasting on. So yeah, and Evan told me some stuff about Sean that, again, I'm not going to talk about. What goes on between them is between them. That's the thing with friendships, is if friends have problems, they need to work it out. So, anyway, yeah, so as a person, Evan is good. He asks rather big questions that, okay, I'm trying to keep quiet so that no one will lose their minds, but this is the damn internet. That's probably going to happen. Evan asked me questions of religion. Another thing you don't talk about on YouTube. But here's the thing. One question he asked me is, what if God is the bad guy? And those of you who saw the video I made about theories on God in the Hazbin Hotel universe know that I personally do not believe that. Okay, and he actually brought up the problems in the world that are going on, like thievery and murder. You ever stop to think, like, I know many people don't know the Ten Commandments, but here's the thing. Those both are on the Ten Commandments, the thing you're not supposed to do. Yeah, people think the Ten Commandments are something that they're like God's rules, but here's the thing. These are 10 simple things that God wants you to not do. 10 simple things he doesn't want you to do. And if you do them, you'll be punished. On that list is, you're not supposed to kill people, and you're not supposed to steal. And many people do these things in God's name, and again, while I'm not going to discuss my personal religious beliefs, I will say I believe that he's probably punishing them for it now, because, murder is murder. And murder is, killing people for stupid reasons. And I don't know about you, but because you have a different God than I do, seems like a pretty stupid reason to kill someone. Someone. Okay, is there a good reason to kill someone? Well, if you're defending yourself, and in some cases, you have to kill criminals because they're not going to learn from their mistakes. I'm sorry to say that. It's a very sad thing, but those are the only good reasons to do that. Moving on. So, I say Evan used to be known on YouTube. What changed? This Copa Kappa crap. A few weeks ago, I actually did get in touch with Evan, trying to see if I could watch a few videos we made together, way back when. And I found none of the videos he'd ever made with me or with his friends or otherwise could actually be found. So I texted him to say what happened and, to check and see if he's seen Hazbin Hotel, because Hazbin Hotel's good. Good. A lot of people like it. And I figured he might too. He said he hadn't seen Hazbin Hotel, but he had seen Helluva Boss and he liked it. And he made all his videos that he made, he set them to private so he cannot be affected by this Copa Kappa crap. And I've been told it's not as bad as people think, but here's the problem. I don't know. I don't know if they're only going after the big channels or only going after the small channels, or maybe they're just not going after channels at all unless they do some crap. And all this COPPA thing is doing is telling you have to make sure people know that your videos are not meant for kids. If you make videos that are not meant for kids, you have to make sure that people know they're not meant for kids. Which, as I've been told, is pretty easy to do. So, I don't know what else to say. Hell, I've made pretty clear that my videos are not for children, and so far I haven't been fined, I haven't been attacked in any way. But, so I don't know how bad this Copa Kappa crap is. But all I can say is, I don't know. And Hazbin Hotel did something pretty interesting to avoid it. They created their own website. Could Evan be capable of doing that? Maybe. He seems to have the computer skills, and there's this website that I don't remember its name that helps you create your own website for free. So, that's all I can say there. So, Evan, if you're watching this, I would like some feedback from you, man. So see how well I did, and if I insulted you, I really do apologize. And for the rest of you, if he should create his own website, head there and check out some of their videos. If this Copa Kappa nonsense stops and he makes his videos public again, still check them out. They are pretty good. And I have absolutely no idea what else to say, so look at the dog.